Welcome back to Escape from Tarkov. In this video I want to go through the FOV settings, and I put beginners in the title because I'm still a beginner, so I don't expect to ever see any good gameplay. Although I am improving, and I've changed my FOV just because a lot of the games, like when I first load a game I leave it on default just to see how it is. But then, like most games, pretty much all of them, the higher your FOV, the better it is because you can see more of your surroundings. You can see a lot more around you. But it works completely different to your standard FOVs in games on Tarkov. I've watched a very interesting video on the topic, and I'll leave a link to it in the description. But basically, you have a range on this game. Your FOV goes on a slider from 50 to 75. A lot of players will just whack it up to 75 because you're going to see the most you can around you. But it's a little bit different in this game because the highest isn't going to be the best, the lowest isn't going to be the best. They both have negative and positive impacts on your gameplay. And the way it does work, you could actually switch between 50 and 75 depending on what you're running, but then you're never going to get used to a standard, like a solid, consistent FOV. And it's just going to make it harder to play. So on 50, the negatives you have is if you're running a scope, so any form of scope, you're going to have a vignette around the edge of that scope. So it's going to be a lot harder to pick up your shots. But at the same time, when you're looking at a character through a scope, even with the vignette, there's actually more of them to shoot on Tarkov. I don't understand how it works this way, but it does. So there's more of, like, it's going to be easier to hit your target because you're actually going to be able to see them better. But then at the same time, on a 50, it's going to actually drop your FPS a tiny bit. And not only that, playing on 50 can increase players getting headaches, motion sickness, all the stuff like that. Whereas the complete other end of the spectrum, if you're playing on 75, you can see a lot more around you. You do get increased FPS, even though it's minimal. It's going to be like a 4 to maybe 6 FPS difference. But there will be a slight increase if you're playing on 75. But then at the same time, with the scope, you will not have a vignette. I think it's anything from like 63 upwards, your vignette has disappeared in your scope. There won't be, like, you're not going to get motion sickness, you probably won't get as many headaches or anything if you're playing like for hours and hours on end, if you're playing on 75. But there's actually a hit registration problem in the game, so if you're using a red dot sight, you're using iron sights, it's going to be harder to pick off your targets because they, like, with leading your shots and stuff, it works completely different. It's a lot harder with your FOV zoomed out. So with scopes, it's going to be better on a higher FOV. With sights, like iron sights, red dot sights, is going to be easier. But when you're aiming at your target, the higher your FOV, the harder it's going to be to hit your target. And just in general, it's like more of an advanced thing to put your FOV up to almost max. So what I would recommend for beginners is something I'm going to be doing as I play more of the game, even though I'm getting really frustrated because I was on woods, top left of the map, 200 meters away from an extraction, just dropped 2 scavs, which you'll see in the gameplay, and as I was looting, getting myself some goodies, I got shot in the back by another player. But what I've done for the time being is I've actually put my FOV on 59 because it's a little bit lower than like the medium sort of setting, but I'm going to start at 59 and I'm going to work my way up and just see where I feel comfortable to still land my shots. Because I don't really use scopes and sights, I pretty much run iron sights because I'm very, very bad at the moment. I don't have a lot of experience in the game, so I'm constantly dying. I don't want to be spending 50 grand a run like I did for my PMC run in this video. I don't want to spend 50 grand on chest armor, a helmet, a brand new gun, and then get some ammo for the gun and stuff, and then just go into the game and lose it. I want to be able to get a few extractions, get some good gear from it, sell it, make some money, and eventually start building up instead of always going down. So if you are a new player to Escape from Tarkov, I recommend setting your FOV to maybe even start on 50 and just work your way up, or set it to 55 and work your way up from there, and just find the right balance to where you are completely comfortable with how much of your surroundings you can see, how much you're able to hit your target, and just how the game plays out for you in general. But that is going to do it for the video. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope it helped you out. Thank you for watching.